This is the beautiful city of Accra, with high-rise buildings springing up around Kotoka International Airport. Welcome to the Gold Coast of Africa, popularly known as Ghana. And this is the Accra Tema Motorway. Why are we on the motorway today? We want to have exclusive history about this road. And this is one of the first-class roads ever built in the 1960s. When the Accra Tema Motorway was opened to traffic in the 1964, it was mainly to link the two major cities, Accra, the national capital, and Tema, the emerging industrial and port city. At that time, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the first president of the nation, the visionary, foresaw a heavy vehicular traffic building between the two cities, reaching its peak when his dream of transforming Tema into the industrial hub of the newly independent Ghana began to materialize. Those who were old enough will recollect that in those days, once one exits Accra, the only place of call was Tema, unless, of course, one was continuing towards Ho and beyond, or Aflao, the country's eastern gateway. Today, the Accra Tema Motorway cannot be said to be playing the same role envisaged at its inauguration. The motorway now carries heavy traffic destined for not only Tema and its numerous satellite settlements on the east, but also for new communities that have sprung up on the western side. New residential areas on the western side of the motorway includes East Legon, Adrengano, the Trasaco Valleys, and the still under development Bote Estates. On the eastern side are numerous factories, bounded warehouses, shopping malls, banks, and several residential estates. Among the residential areas are the Tema Community 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Apart from these are private estates belonging to the National Trust Holding Company, the Hydroform, the Traco Costa, Frempoma, the Paraco Estate, Regimental Grey Estate, and many others. Among the industrial establishments are the giant Coca-Cola Bottling Company, Printers, Johnson Wax, Casapreco, Ghana Cylinder Manufacturing Company, and Papai, the food giant. From the above, it is obvious that the motorway had long ceased to be the expressway linking two cities, to become virtually a street running through several townships or residential settlements. In fact, technically speaking, a huge chunk of the Tema township has grown alongside the motorway. Only way these settlements can link up with their roots in metropolitan Tema is by the motorway or through what is popularly known as the Beach Road, which has its own problems, which is under development anyways. They are on it. Many Ghanaians expected that by now the motorway would have been redesigned to assume a bigger role beyond being a link between Accra and Tema. The expectation was that various exits and entry points will be incorporated into the new design to ensure that all the safety concerns and the interests of the residents of the newly developed communities were addressed. As it is now, residents of the new communities confronted by survival instincts have taken a decision which has its ramifications by creating unapproved roads onto the motorway. Those who want to remain on the good side of the law have no option but to use the beach road running through Teshi and Nungwa, or the Spintex Road, which has its own story to tell. Traffic. One of the government's measures to eradicate traffic on the motorway was to remove all tolls from the roads. I think that's one thing that's helping the motorway now. By now, we wouldn't have crossed this particular toll. Even though its construction was fashioned after the Autobahn in Germany and was purposed to be the first in motorway system that will link major towns and cities in Ghana, but it was having its challenges. The motorway was constructed with concrete. As at now, it's more than 50 years since independence, but still the motorway is what it is today. A major problem that existed on the motorway was that of poor illumination. The motorway had no street lights when it was completed in 1964. But in June 2002, the Ghana News Agency reported that the government of Ghana was to spend 1.95 million old Ghana cedis to lighten up the motorway. The project was to commemorate the country's Golden Jubilee in 2007. The project had challenges that delayed its completion of the Accra Tema motorway. It was suspended due to cable theft, obviously. The problem led to plainclothes policemen patrolling the motorway. Unfortunately, not all of the mounted street lights on the motorway are functioning. So if you're on the motorway, I believe you have to bring your own lights, obviously. There have been several campaigns on the motorway. In 2009, a radio station in Accra, which is a private-owned radio station, embarked on a campaign to educate users of the motorway on dangers that are faced by commuters on multi-purpose highway like what we're having. The education included the rampant criminal activities on the motorway, the unsafe bridges that people are having on their own ways, potholes, obviously, as old as that project is, will obviously have small issues. As you can see, the motorway is no more a fast linking highway. As you can see by the right side there, industrial activities going on. You can even stop in the middle of nowhere and just have a organizer top up your tires. This driver is about doing it, and this driver is even picking people in the middle of the highway, that taxi driver. So that's the activity that's going on the highway now. It's not easy. It's no more the highway that we got to know of. The highway is now a traffic prone way. You can barely even go more than 80 kilometers per hour. because there is traffic on both sides. A lot of activities going on the motorway. But as good as the motorway is, it's been able to accommodate all these cars for this number of years. The vision was good, but the maintenance was poor. Some years back, the urban roads saw the wisdom in opening an exit point on the motorway to facilitate easy movement for residents of Sakomona Estate. This is the exit. Communities 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. This worked out wonderfully well and reduced the traffic on the Spentes Road. We thought that was a new beginning to create more of these official entry and exit points to prevent people from creating their own routes that will pose danger. So as you can see, this is an official entry point and it's mostly safe because of the way it enters the road. It's high time and it's risk free. You can easily even come in here. So as compared to this one, which is illegal, some industry just brought that one in to enter into their premises, which is unsafe for everybody on the highway. With all these criticisms, Ghanaians are one of the luckiest people in Africa to have a road like this, linking two major industrial and two biggest cities in the country. I've traveled a lot, I've traveled around, I've not seen most of these type of road in most of these African countries. At least we should be appreciative of this road. At least the maintenance, they've done well, but there's more to be done. As the population is growing, new things have to be in place. And I think there is supposed to be a regulation. This truck in front of us nearly blocked our view with smoke. I barely saw anything on the way. So there is supposed to be a regulation on preventing this type of trucks on the highway. So if I get any opportunity, I had to just go around it in order for me to be safe. Exactly, that's what I did. And there are a lot of activities going on the highway, along the sides and all that. During the rush hour, around 4 to 7 p.m., this particular stretch of the road had a ton of traffic from Tema towards Accra, and all these can be eliminated with new developments. In the late 2020, a new project was to take place on the highway, and the scope of the project is as follows. There is going to be a 10 lane. The whole length of the Tema motorway is 19.5 kilometers. 4 lanes of real reinforced concrete as the one that we are having currently. And we are going to have 6 of the lanes being an urban highway, and it's going to be asphalted, if I'm wrong. The construction of the Tetekwashi to Apenkwa 5 kilometers will be done. Remodeling of the Tetekwashi, Apenkwa and Achimota interchange is going to be touched to. Construction of 5 new interchanges: Lashibi, Abatoi, Teshi Link, Fiesta Royal, and Neoplan Junction. I think they are already doing some work on those ones. And we have some pedestrian footbridges, toll plazas, and street lights. So as we are getting to Tema, you will see a lot of activities going on there. Even there is a Tema interchange that was recently constructed, very beautiful one, which have reduced the traffic that we're having here. If you're a contractor and you are interested in the construction of the 10 lanes from Tema to Accra, you are lucky, and this is a good thing for you. There is going to be 40% allotment for local contractors. So if you're a contractor, you can bid for that part of the 40% construction, whether you are constructing gutters or whatever. So you can just bid for it. And until then, that we see a 10 lane linking Tema and Accra. This is the original Kwame. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos from Africa. We are exploring. You can follow the link. You can follow the channel. We have a lot of exclusive videos from rest of Africa. Thank you for watching. Cheers.